Till your handful of dirt contains miles of secret tree internet cables. Right now, if you walked into any forest and scooped up a handful of dirt, you'd be holding miles of microscopic cables that trees use to communicate with each other. I'm not talking science fiction here. This is real, and it's happening beneath our feet in every forest on Earth. These cables are actually fungal threads, thinner than spider silk, weaving through the soil in networks so dense that a single handful of forest dirt contains literal miles of them. Scientists call this the mycorrhizal network, but it's got a much cooler nickname, the Wood Wide Web. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. Trees aren't just standing there silently competing for sunlight. They're constantly chatting, sharing resources, and even gossiping about neighborhood drama through these fungal networks. Think of the fungi as nature's internet service provider, connecting trees across the forest in a biological social network that makes Facebook look primitive. But this isn't just casual tree small talk. When a Douglas fir gets attacked by beetles, it immediately sends chemical alarm signals through the network. Within hours, neighboring trees, even different species, receive the message and start pumping out toxic compounds to defend themselves. It's like a forest-wide emergency broadcast system, except it's been operating for millions of years before humans invented radio. The most mind-blowing part? Mother trees can actually recognize their own children. Through chemical signatures passed along these fungal highways, a mature tree can identify its own seedlings among all the other young trees in the forest. And just like any good parent, mother trees play favorites. They send extra nutrients, water, and resources to their offspring through the network, giving their kids a better chance at survival. Scientists discovered this by injecting radioactive carbon into mature trees and then tracking where it went. They watched in amazement as the carbon traveled through the soil via fungal threads and showed up in seedlings hundreds of feet away. The bigger, older trees were essentially feeding the younger generation through this underground internet. But the network isn't just about family connections. Different tree species plug into the same system, creating interspecies cooperation that challenges everything we thought we knew about forest competition. A birch tree can share resources with a fir tree, and they both benefit from the arrangement. It's like having neighbors who actually share their Wi-Fi password and help each other out. The scale of these networks is staggering. Some span entire forests, connecting hundreds of trees across thousands of acres. They can persist for decades, growing more complex and sophisticated over time. The largest networks are among the most intricate communication systems on our planet, rivaling the complexity of our own internet infrastructure. Perhaps the most touching discovery is what happens when trees are dying. Instead of hoarding their resources, dying trees dump their stored carbon into the network, essentially leaving an inheritance for the rest of the forest community. It's a final act of generosity that ensures the forest's survival even as individual trees pass away. This discovery has completely revolutionized how scientists view forests. We used to think of them as collections of individual trees competing for resources in a biological survival of the fittest scenario. Now we understand forests are actually cooperative superorganisms, where the success of the community depends on sharing, communication, and mutual support. The implications are staggering for how we manage forests and think about conservation. When we clear-cut forests, we're not just removing trees. We're destroying communication networks that took decades to establish. We're severing internet cables that connect entire ecosystems. These fungal networks also help forests adapt to climate change, drought, and other environmental stresses by allowing healthy trees to support struggling ones. The network acts like a biological insurance policy, spreading risk across the entire forest community. What's even more incredible is that we're just beginning to understand this system. Every year, scientists discover new layers of complexity in how trees communicate and cooperate. Some researchers believe trees might even have a form of memory, storing information about past environmental conditions and sharing it through the network. So the next time you're walking through a forest, remember that beneath your feet is one of nature's most sophisticated communication networks, buzzing with chemical conversations, resource sharing, and community cooperation. Every step you take crosses thousands of these microscopic cables, carrying messages between trees. The question is, if trees figured out how to build a cooperative, resource sharing network millions of years ago, what could we humans learn from their example?